Mate, fair to say this is the biggest game of your career?
Yeah, it would be, especially for little motherland that we have, and seeing the support around the world, how much they're backing us as well. So a lot to come out of it, but yeah, really excited to play another game under this jersey.
Can you tell us how far you've come from those initial conversations with a few boys about playing to Samoa to here you are in a World Cup final?
Yeah, talking to a few boys throughout the year after games and that, and they really said that we had an opportunity to really put Samoa on the map, and it wasn't until we came here and started training in that. But yeah, we got pumped by England straight away, so massive shock to the system. But yeah, it's good the way that the boys turned it around, and definitely came out better on the other side.
What was said after that loss to England that turned it around? What was the mindset?
I think I think the boys just didn't want to have that feeling again. I think straight after the game, a lot of the boys were shattered in that, and yeah, a lot of the boys were just saying, like, remember this feeling. We're not going to feel like this again. So that was basically what was said after the shed, in the sheds, and yeah, the boys really turned it around at training and that.
Was there someone in particular that kind of led that talk then?
Probably Pops and Junes, one of two of our main leaders that we have here, and yeah, they definitely spoke to us straight after the game that we're definitely going to be better, not just for ourselves, but for our people, making them proud and our families proud as well, and I think we've done that as well.
Tim and Nathan said that you practiced that field goal a fair bit at training, and that you've been waiting for that moment. Is that right?
Yeah, probably every captain John at Penrith. I try and copy him and try and like level up with him, go one after the other. But yeah, I'm 0 from 5 at Penrith, so that's probably why he doesn't let me do it anymore. But hopefully I get my kicking licence back after that.
How much of an influence has that success, that Penrith success, had in this team as well? Because I mean, you talk about you would have been dirty with that loss. That's not the Penrith standard either with you boys. Something you're not used to.
Yeah, it did hit us differently. But yeah, our seniors, especially Romy, definitely stood up in meetings and that, and just kind of changed the way we thought about the game and the way we addressed the game as well. And I think that was a massive way in turning the boys' attitude around, and yeah, just looking to get better for the games ahead.
What about the fact that you guys, we talked about where you've reached in terms of the Penrith side, you know, you've got kids playing in the park at Wayland Reserve. You are actually on a world stage now with your mates.
Yeah, it hits different, especially seeing a lot of videos now of the Samoan parades and that back home and all around the world as well. So it hits different for those little kids, especially being born from Samoa and seeing those little kids in Samoa run around and that, and making them proud. Just makes myself and makes the boys so proud of it as well, with the success that they've had.
Are you determined to get Samoa to the point where they're a Tier 1 nation?
Yes, that is the plan, and I think it comes down to our training and the way we look at the games and our preparation. But yeah, that is the end goal, and that's been the goal since the boys made that decision to come and play for Samoa.
So you're not too far off, would you say?
Yeah, the boys are definitely in the right direction, I guess, and yeah, the boys have been really good.
Have you thought about the fact that, once Samoa is a Tier 1 nation, it then comes with the choice that players can't play for Origin and would have to choose Samoa after such an incredible experience? Is it something that you think you might be prepared to choose Samoa over Origin if it came down to it?
Yeah, well, I haven't really thought of that yet, but probably see what happens when those type of decisions come around. But yeah, I reckon it will definitely be hard for the boys if we do make Samoa a Tier 1 nation. But yeah, that is definitely the plan.
Are you hopeful it never has to come to that? Are you hopeful there's maybe a rethink of rules and things that guys that, like yourself, who grew up in New South Wales, can play for New South Wales but also represent Samoa? Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I think so. Being from both, born in Samoa, and definitely want to represent mum and dad. But when it comes down to Origin and those big arenas, definitely want to represent where I grew up from as well. But yeah, hopefully there is a change, and hopefully I can do that in the future.
We talk about it, Samoa becoming a Tier 1 nation. There's still a lot of work to do behind the scenes, but this is, I guess, the start of it for back home, for the belief, for the systems and the pathways and that to be put in place.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I just lost that.
Well, in terms of winning is one, and being on the world stage, there's a whole lot of work to be done underneath with pathways and all that sort of stuff. But I guess, putting this sort of stuff in place and winning, it creates that opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's for all those little Pacific nations. It's a massive step forward for them as well. Seeing the talent and that's coming through as well. So, really keen to see all the little Pacific nations push forward on that as well.
What's happened with Bizza today? Does he need a cup of concrete or he didn't train?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably just he does most of my runs, so he needs to rest up the body.
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's all good.
What have you guys made of the scenes from back home, not just in Samoa, but Australia and New Zealand as well? What does that mean to you guys as a team? What are you doing for that community?
Yeah, it means a lot, seeing all the videos and that back home definitely makes the boys emotional. Seeing some videos that they made and seeing a lot of parents, kids, seeing them cry just over a little moment like that, and it just shows how much support that we have behind us, and that's definitely the motivation that the boys have, not just to play and win for us players and the people that are here, but for our Samoa nation around the world.
How do you always get yourself in the right spot in the big games, Crichton? Like, there's been a couple of interception grand finals. I think you've scored 3 straight grand finals, haven't you? And then kicked a field goal on the weekend. Like, you always seem to be there at abouts when the game's on the line.
Yeah, I think probably just comes down to our training and being at the right place at the right time, and just trying to stay present and not think about the end result, and playing every play and watching what I'm doing and not getting lost in the moment. But I think it just comes down to that.
Where's this one on Sunday night? Where do you win it? For the middle?
They got a massive team, so I think as a whole team we have to be on our best, and can't be like giving errors and giving opportunity to them, because we know they'll definitely strike and they can definitely score points as well. So it just comes back to our ill discipline and playing the footy like the way we like to play.
How much cheeky are you going to give Nathan? How much are you going to give Nathan?
He's on the other side, so probably that's what Romy will give most of it to him.
Chanel was saying he's never seen anything quite like it with Joseph Swelly, just a 19-year-old kid, just how much of a freak he is. Are you in awe of what you've seen from him? Yeah,
100%. His carries that he's done in this competition, only at the age of 19, just back fencing everyone. Haven't seen it in a long time, so just so excited that he's on our team.
Do you remember the moment you found out that he committed to Samoa as well?
Yeah, I was playing golf with Romy back at home, and I was scrolling through Insta, and it came up that he announced, and me and Romy were just like screaming on the golf course, going off like, he also pledged to play for Samoa, and we were just keen as after that. So that's when we found out.
Mate, you talk about talking to blokes throughout the year after games. Who was the most vocal in driving that, rallying the troops to play for Samoa? Was it Milk? Was it Paulo? Who was it?
There was a few of them. I think all of the boys, after every game, you have those little chats like, what are you doing at the end of the year? And I can't pick out probably one of them, but probably most of them. After every game that we versed them for Clubland, they will just ask like little questions like, see you at the end of the year, and you just give those sweet, we'll see you there. And that's where you get that little bit of confidence from, and you speak to the boys, and then you see them pledge. So it's really exciting.
Were you woken up the other night by the England boys celebrating?
Nah. I think we came here after most of their celebrations, so
last one?
It was alright.
Just to be clear on that earlier stuff with Origin, mate, if you do have to make the choice between Samoa and the Blues, what's it going to be? You're saying you do want to be a Tier 1 nation.
I'm not sure yet. Haven't really thought of that yet, and probably just make that decision when that situation comes around.
Thank you.
Pacific Easy, mo tupe whamomoli I Samoa. Wala ule o valuselau o tasi ono, po le rua fitu ono fitu iwa fitu wha, po le rua fitu ono fitu iwa vanu wha.
Ka for you tauselau Great South Road I Manuewa. Telefoni o valuselau luolo fitu wha iwa ono valu. O valuselau luolo fitu wha iwa ono valu.